Okay, brethren. So please let us bow our heads for a word of prayer. And let us pray. Gracious loving Father, we ask of you to be with us this morning. Grant unto us the understanding of your word and help us to have purpose in the daily courses of our existence and help us to prepare because the end is swiftly coming. Remove obstacles that may hinder us from getting the sense of what is being said, but plant in our minds the truths of the Holy Spirit that we may be God-directed, glorifying your name, doing the work you created us to do, just before the end comes. In Jesus' holy name we pray, with thanksgiving and praise. Amen. Amen. Okay, my dear brethren, first of all, let me just say, next year, come January, we will be starting a new baptism class. So all those who want to get baptized and indicated it, you will get your chance to understand why you should get baptized. We'll be having a new baptism class also. Our literature on systematic theology, a crucial thought on our evangelicals, true born-again Christians, crucial also, and the issue of the covenants, and now on Amazon, and we have made great headway in Amazon, because by Sunday when we were in the car going down, we were already number 2 in one of the books, and we were number 7 in one, and we were about like number 14 in one in its ranking. And by the time we reached Portishead, we were number 1, and the other 2 reached number 2. Amen. Amen, brethren? Number 1 in exegesis and hermeneutics. Number 2 in Bible study, guides. And number 2 in education. So you see how wonderful it was, my dear brethren? And that was the ranking for 3 days straight. Okay, so that is a very good thing by the grace of God, because the truth is spreading. What do you say? And you see, like it or not, it is this message that have to spread all over the world. And it is going somewhere by the grace of God. Each of us have an opportunity to play a great part in it. You will only keep back yourself if you want to. But other than that, you're supposed to make headways. Now, let us start to take a look at some very important things here. First thing I have done, I have just made 3 video clips, just to put a little knowledge in your head as to some of the things that are going on. And we didn't want to give you plenty because that will be for next time. Because we want to get into this study. Our study is the final celestial war. Let me just put the name of it here. Okay, the final celestial war. And we want to look at the fact that we are in a war. You are in a war. Whether you like it or not, you are in a war. And you need to know how to fight this war. What do you think? So we want to look at that, and strange enough, I didn't say your scriptures told you that. Your scriptures told you that you are in a war, whether you like it or not, and you have to know how to fight in this war. But just before that, South Korea had an earthquake, and China. So we just want to show you brief footage of the earthquake as it took place in South Korea. The last clip that I put together in this is China. So in other words, no matter where you are, let me tell you this, 240 earthquakes. How much? 240. Minor earthquake struck the major earthquake fault in Los Angeles, California. If within a week 240 minor quakes struck there, do you know what is going to happen to that country? To that state? They are expecting massive destruction there. But if they want to have sodomy with each other, and if they want to destroy the rights and freedoms right there, then they're looking for what they are getting. Because trouble is coming. By the way, Sweden this week said that Christians will now have to stop calling Yahweh He. And actually stop using he and she in the Bible. So now they want to tell you in the Bible not to call Yahweh He. And stop saying he and she. They want the Bible to become gender sensitive. That is Sweden. So you see what's going on? Do you see what's going on? You're reaching the end of this earth's what? History. And that is why we always call upon you to make sure you're prepared for what is taking place. Amen? So let's look at the first earthquake here. And the earthquakes that took place here. So you can read on the screen what you see, right?
사인한 소리 울리나? 오, 무서워. 와.
Live clips taken by people and surveillance footage inside buildings display how chaotic the situation was. Cho Sang-mi provides a clearer picture of the impact the force of nature had on the city of Pohang.
As soon as a 5.4 magnitude earthquake hit the city of Pohang on Wednesday afternoon, students of Handong Global University are quickly evacuating from the campus buildings. The aftermath of the quake is evident across the city, with broken windows and cracked walls, as well as damaged cars in the parking lots. Scenes were similar in local high schools. Students gathered and waited in the field, keeping some distance from the school's main building. CCTV cameras installed at an apartment complex near the epicenter of the earthquake show the shocking moments when the earth started to shake, forcing nearly 100 residents to flee their homes in panic. Some even rushed out wearing only a short-sleeved shirt and pants. Video taken inside a house showing cracked walls and overturned furniture also demonstrates the force of the earthquake. Convenience stores are practically turned upside down, with shelves collapsing and merchandise scattered all over the floor. The earthquake also caused cars to collide and opened fissures in the asphalt roads. Several buildings sustained heavy damage as well, with walls collapsing in parts or entirely following the strong quake.
Okay, so that was in South Korea, and then you had the last little piece here, China. As I said, just give you brief pieces. Didn't give you much, right? Now watch this one here. This here is a snail that lives under the sand in the sea. Millions and millions flee the sea. Millions flee the sea and come on shore. Watch this. Why are the animals seeking to get away from the sea? In Florida, by who? Why are the animals seeking to get away from the sea? Many of them are just leaving the sea because something is wrong. So could you think this little thing leave from quite under the sand under the sea and come way up on the shore? Look at how much, like millions upon millions. Far as the eye can see. What's going on never happened before. First time in history. But we let you see this to know how late time is because we're getting strange signs. God wants us to be strange signs of the end. So this should show us that something terrible is going to take place because these things never happened before. And you have millions upon millions of them, okay? Now let's just look at this one thing here now, this final thing. No scientists in the world have been able to explain this strange thing that have been seen in many different countries for about 3 years now. They started suddenly appearing in the sky, a kind of a black and white halo. Now we know the halo, the kind of round things around the head of these so-called saints that the Catholic Church has. When you have a black one, that is a sign of what? Demons. So here you have demons giving a sign that this earth is theirs, they're taking over this earth, they come like this earth. There we go. Nobody knows what it is. In this case, it's right in different places in China. It has been seen in Italy, in the United States, and other countries of the world. But nobody can seem to explain what it is. This kind of halo that you see. Sometimes, most often, it is a black halo. These are signs of evil angels. You know? They're actually claiming the earth is theirs. They're wrestling, they have wrestling, they want to fight us. They define us. And China, which is supposed to be the largest communist nation in the world, now has more Christians than any other countries of the world. And so evil angels are showing a lot of this in different places in China.
Now 时间是2017年8月13日，地点在金石滩沙滩边。天上出现了一个不明物体，黑色圆圈越来越大，并且向我们靠近。
我们就在海边，然后我们已经从海里上来了。 然后他们就站在海里，我们其中的一个人就喊说：“你看那边天，就云彩，看有一个就像椭圆形的，然后黑色的一圈。然后后来就看这个东西啊，他就往这边移。它的那个头就有点非常扁，然后再往这边走，它还继续移动，而且它感觉它移动的速度并不慢，挺。”
Okay, so let's put on the first shot.
That reminds me of let's open 50 Bible results. Just remind me, based on Isaiah chapter 14 verses 12.
And Revelation 12.
Yeah, that just reminds me of Isaiah chapter 14 verses 12. Was very showing Lucifer, the son of the dawn, but the need not God give him for the false God. And that's how Lucifer previously at this point.
And the fact that Jesus told us that there was the signs in the heaven and signs also on the earth. Okay, my dear brethren, we are just seeing some of the signs. But like watchmen on the walls of Zion, we are warning you that they may know how late time is, amen? And that they will prepare for the end because it is swiftly what? Coming. Do you see how much time they have said it? Okay, you see how much time we have shown it. All kind of strange things are happening. This, what I present here to you, is joke. You can't spend all the time on the Sabbath looking at them. But I just give you just a few for you to do. Now the first thing we have to understand is that according to your Bible, war started in heaven with Michael, which is the word of God, and his angels. It was a theological conflict, and it happened with Lucifer and his angels that followed him. So let's look at Revelation chapter 12 and verse 7. Is it from? Revelation chapter 12, verse 7. It says, and there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. Did you see that, my dear brethren? So the war started where? In heaven. Celestial. It started in heaven. It was a heavenly war. The war we are involved in is a war that started in heaven, and now it is here on the earth. So if you need to wake up, you need to recognize that the war we are facing now is not from the earth, and it is not of the earth earthly. The war we are fighting is a what? A heavenly war that has now come upon the face of this earth. The more you recognize that you are fighting a heavenly war, then you will have to find out how to deal with it. You and I, living wherever you are in your district, you are involved in a war that started in heaven. Millions of miles out of space, that's where that war started. Literally where the throne of God is. And then, the war came to the earth. Let's look at verse 8 and verse 9. And prevailed not. That is the dragon and his angels. And prevailed not. Neither was their place found anymore where? In heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that ancient serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived what? The whole world. He was cast out here into the earth, and his angels were what? Cast out with him. Now, as you read that here, find Isaiah 43:7 quickly. Isaiah 43:7 quickly. What is your Bible telling you here? Your Bible is telling you that it was God that transferred that war from heaven to earth. So he made the earth to deal with that war. The earth was meant to deal with that war because it's God that cast them out. He cast them out that they would have access to this world. So the war that started in heaven would literally continue here on this world. Let's see why we were created in Isaiah 43:7. Here is what we are told. Everyone, even everyone that is called by my name, for I have what? Created him for what? My glory. I what? Have formed him, yea, I have what? Made him. So God made us for his what? Glory. There was the nature of the war that took place in heaven. When it came to earth, we were the ones to deal with it. So if you ask yourself, why man? Why the unique way man has been made? Because man was made by God to deal with a war. Are you listening to me, my dear brethren? Yes. We were made to fight. Adam and Eve were made to fight. To fight in a war. That's why evil angels got a temporary abode here on the earth. And we were to deal with them. Amen. So it comes like if you create a soldier, and the soldier you create is adequate to fight in this war, and you send the you move the enemy from heaven and send him there, and we are supposed to fight. Amen. So any one of you who thinks that you could be a dead Christian, forget it. It's either you are alive in Christ Jesus or what? You're dead in what? There's no middle ground. We were created to fight. And the war we were created to fight is not to take up a gun and shoot somebody or to bomb our country. And as I say that, it reminds me of something that is happening in Saudi Arabia. So I looked at Mr. Ta'al, one of the most powerful princes in Saudi Arabia, dressed up like an American gunslinger, had bullets all on things across his chest, and wielding big guns in Saudi Arabia, close to the king of Saudi Arabia, and saying he pumped millions and millions of dollars to Muslims in America for Islam to take over America. But suddenly regime change took place in Saudi Arabia. They arrest him. So all the millions gone away. The Saudi Arabia take that man hanging upside down naked and almost beat him to death in public. And this is the one boasting he can handle Christians with gun and all kind of thing. You see, they don't understand when God ready for them, they can't fight him. What do you say? Yeah. And God single-handedly wiped him and all the others out. Yeah. Because that's Saudi Arabia moving towards keeping Saudi. Yeah. That's why. So all the die-hard with gun and all these sorts of things say they come to kill Christians. Voila! The new prince that took over there said he's going to moderate Islam. And already he deal with all those guys because we know they are going to accept what? The Sunday law. You see all the events are moving towards it? Yes, yes. So this gunslinger hung by his foot, 60-something years old, naked as he's born, and they almost beat him to death. I tell you, Islam is a cruel religion, and the government is extremely what? Cruel. If they can do that to their own people, they are not your friends. They just need Christ Jesus and him crucified.
Yeah. I just want to agree with what you're saying in regards to Saudi Arabia. Because this year, for the first year ever, the only country in the world that women can drive was Saudi Arabia. And they're really moving to be moderate because the authorities said that women can drive now.
Amen.
They're really changing.
So, God made a pronouncement. And the pronouncement he made is after Lucifer's second fall. He still had access to heaven, although he was cast out. But after God cast him out, after the death of Christ, God made a pronouncement. This pronouncement was meant to show us that the war was now in full swing on the earth at the time of Christ. Let's look at Revelation 12. Revelation 12:12. Is it found? Observe. Revelation 12:12. Here is what we are told. Quote, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. But here is the next part of the verse. Woe to the what? Inhabitants of the earth and of the world. See, why? For the devil is come down unto you, having what? Why? Because he knoweth that he hath what? So when the devil recognized, or Lucifer recognized, that Jesus completely destroyed all his claims and showed that he had a faith that could handle sin, that could deal with sin, he recognized his days were numbered. This is his second casting out, when he no longer had access to heaven. And what had happened here? He has come down on the earth with great wrath. Now it clearly shows us that the war that started where? In heaven has now come here to the earth. So it is now a what? Terrestrial war. But it still is a what? Celestial and what? Terrestrial war. That's what you have to understand. You are not supposed to fight earthly. Because although the war is on the earth, it started where? In heaven. And you are fighting a heavenly war, a celestial war. The war we are fighting here is from outer space. They may say you're like aliens and so on. But no. The only aliens are evil angels. And the point about it is we are fighting And we are fighting in a war that started where? In heaven. The more you recognize that, the more you wake up to the fact that you are fighting a war that started where? In heaven. And is now where? On earth, you will see heavenly means to deal with it. Amen? And we want to show what that is. Okay? You will say something like that. Show your voice.
You say that already in context the way you say with you need to sort heaven, you need to be war. That's what Paul said, we are possible warfare and carnal.
Right, beautiful. So in this war, it is the word of God, which is Christ, his angels, and who else? Christians versus who? Lucifer, who else? Jesus, his angels, and what? Unconverted man generally. That is the war. One under the wrath of God and one by the law. Look at the colors. So in other words, we have the word of God, holy angels with us, and Christians versus Lucifer, his demons, and unconverted man. So every day when you face temptation, no matter how the temptation comes, it may come very nice. It may appeal to your affections. It may appeal to your prejudices. But always remember, it is a war that you are facing. And in this attrition, you cannot come violent all the time. Sometimes you have to come in a way to disarm a person, that then you could become violent. Always remember, whenever Lucifer disarms you, he will always become violent. So don't think you can serve him and he might say, well, look, I'll spare you. He always kills his own people. Always remember that. So we are facing a celestial and terrestrial war. It is the word of God, Jesus Christ, his angels and Christians versus Lucifer, demons, and what? Unconverted man. So we know we have the word of God, God himself to aid us. We know holy angels will come and help us. What do you say? Amen. Remember they wanted to kill Daniel because he was praying and they threw him in a lion's den? And God sent his angels and shut the lion's mouth. What do you say? Amen. Because the angels are part of that war too. Yes. And the war came to Daniel himself. Amen? Yes. And so the war will come to you. Remember that, right? Amen. It will always come to you. So do not tell yourself, why am I facing it so hard? Ever since I joined Tuesday, you say, quote unquote, I have to face pressure. You will. Okay. Because you are in a war. Amen. And now you join the army from Satan's army, so expect to face your fight. Amen. Amen? Amen. But you're not left alone. Amen. The Bible clearly tells us that the war, since watch me, Satan cannot hold Jesus Christ and tear him till him. Okay? And he cannot come and bring temptation to Christ like he did when he was on earth. He still wants to prove he could destroy Christ. He wants to show Christ in you could be destroyed from you. So it is the same Christ he's attacking, but in you. You see the difference is how you hold him. Or how you allow him to hold you. So it's an attack upon Christ in you. Are you listening to me, my dear brother? Yes, yes. So he still does that. So what does he do? Revelation 12:17. And the dragon was brought with the what? Woman, which is the church. And went to make war with what? The remnant of the seed, the remaining portions of the church. Amen. Which is identified as doing what? And have what? And that testimony is attacking. Yes. So you know one thing for sure. The dragon went to make war with the church. Yes. So now the church is actually in that war. Did you see that? Yes, sir. You want to come to a point. You're just introducing. Amen. We are actually in that war. You are in that war. And this is the reason why sometimes you have to take instruction as to how to fight this war. Some people have too much pride, some people have too much arrogance, and some people have too much self-sufficiency, and they don't take advice. Some people feel that they're so wise just because they are Christians, they're so wise to take advice from their own brethren. And And as a result of that, they fail in their fight. They think that they are successful, but the devil always finds a way to get in. Remember, if he could chop you with a sword or stick you with a pin, he will use a pin, eh? Remember that? All the more to get at you in some way. So you're facing a war. And in this war you're facing, it is a war that evil angels have established to destroy us. Because he wants to prove that he could destroy Christ's testimony still. Remember, the church supposed to have the testimony of what? Jesus keeping the commandments of God. He wants to show you could still destroy the testimony of Jesus, although the testimony in the man Jesus destroyed it. But he still wants to show you could destroy it in you and I. And this is the reason why you must be a fit representative for Jesus Christ. Next slide. Yes.
That's why when Christ came, when God came in the flesh, right? You see that the man Christ bear the light, but God in Christ reveal the light, and Christ bear the light. So then the man Christ will be the light bearer, right? About 30 high words, so this is the first picture, right? And then after the divine nature and the revealing.
That's right.
So he bear, let your light so shine upon all men, right? That is to know all your good works. Right? And to glorify God. So the man is glorifying God. And what is revealing?
The final name Jesus calls himself, the final name Jesus calls himself in the whole book of Revelation is that he's the new Lucifer. He's the new light bearer. That's the final name he calls himself. Not new in the sense of no come, but just showing that people he was doing it all along. But we'll come to that. Now watch this here. Christians are at war with what? What are we fighting? Let's look at two scriptures first. Look at Exodus 15:3 and then Ephesians 6:11. So find Exodus 15:3 first of all. Exodus 15:3. Exodus 15:3. Did you just see what you just looked at here? Did you just see the verse? Did you look at it before I quoted it? Did you see what it tells you here? It says this. It says what? Yahweh is a what? Man of war. What? Yahweh is his name. Did you see that? Why is he a man of war? The context to that is that he fights our battles for us. What do you say? Remember, that's what he told Israel. All those Canaanites, let me tell you something. Sometimes you take up a Bible and you read. Why did God attack the city of Jericho first when the children of Israel went into Palestine? Because Jericho was the first Canaanite city built after the Tower of Babel that spread the Canaanite religion in the whole of Canaan. So God destroyed the what? Root first. Did you see that? But you see, Joshua knew that. So when they look at the city of Ai, Ai is small fry. But you're not supposed to relax your warfare because a small fry come. And it's a small fry that wrote Israel. Until God had to show them what to do. Jericho was so rooted with powerful people, eating large fruits because the soil was so good, having the best spring in the whole Middle East there. And yet they were able to be destroyed easily by God. But Israel relaxed now and figured they could take Ai as a small fry thing. Ai was no major city, it was a small thing, and it was Ai that defeated them until God showed them what to do. So you have to understand Yahweh is a man of what? War. Yahweh is his name. And who is Yahweh with us fighting against? Let's now turn to Ephesians chapter 6, verse 11. First of all, Ephesians chapter 6, verse 11. First of all, put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the methods of the devil. Did you see that? Why is there these methods? The devil has plenty methods to come and attack us. Plenty different ways. And you must be able to stand and fight the methods of the devil. So you're told to put on the whole what? Armor of God. That's what we are told. And then it tells us why. Who are we fighting against? I'm going to read here, and I'm going to show you the real meaning of the terms that we read here according to the Greek text. So let's see who we are fighting against. So you have to know your enemy. Okay, my dear brethren? That's the reason why, watch me. You have a particular fault, but the fault is in your mind. You never tell it to anybody. You never say it loud, but you go in and write it down on paper and pray before God. So evil angels come around and they say, oh, that is the problem they have. Let's deal with it. You're fighting against evil angels. They are wrong, they see. So there are times you have to keep something quiet. What did he say? If it's a known thing, that is a different. But if it's something no angel, no evil angel knows, don't let it be known. Keep it quiet. What did he say? Because you have to know who you're fighting against. Let's watch this. Let's read. Here's what it tells us in Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 12. I quote. It says this. For we wrestle not against what? Flesh and blood. Now this is a fact. People may attack you and they may attack you very viciously. You will have to defend yourself against people sometimes. But you must remember, look further than the people. Sometimes you haven't done anything wrong to the person and they hate you. Sometimes you are very nice to people. You've tried to be as nice as you can, as benevolent as you can. They're just not related good to you. You have evil house in your mind, like a guest in your mind against you. And not just only that. The time they get, they will subvert you before others. That's what they will do. Destroy your influence. Destroy your usefulness to help others. Gratify their own hate and lust by saying evil things. And all of this that they are doing, it is because the war general and the earth, Lucifer, get to them. The devil get to them already. And this is the reason why they're not able to function as an agent of God. So you have to know your enemies. You have to know who you're fighting against. You have to understand your enemies. Right? A lot of smiling faces tell lies. Sometimes a wonderful smiling greeting, there's 1,000 demons waiting to destroy you. But you're not supposed to act bad. We lay back with wonderful grace. What do you say? You lay back with what? Wonderful grace. Is that understood? But just don't get yourself entangled. Sometimes you have to keep yourself from being entangled with other people. It is not like if the people are so much demons, it is because you are not able to protect yourself before those people. Amen. And that's why you have to watch your mind, guide your influence. Anybody that tell you anything to hurt or lessen the truth in your mind, they're not saying something good, they're being used by the evil general. Yes. And that is the reason why the Bible tells us this. Watch this in your scriptures and let's see how it works in public. Let's see how this works in public. Let's watch it in the scriptures. Read from chapter 6. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. The actual word is hierarchies. Hierarchies means different levels of demonic plus human powers. Different levels. Different levels of demonic and human power. To tell you a secret, Roger Moore is, a man named by the name of Roy Moore, is going up in Congress to be a senator in Alabama. All of a sudden, 4 women came and claimed that 40 years ago he interfered with him. They were 18. 4 women. And they came and said, and they cried in tears. 4 times the man went up from different levels of office. You all never came and said anything. Now he's going up in Congress. Suddenly, he's the one that came and interfered with you all. So the man said, but they lied, I never do anything like that. But you see, this is the age of retribution for the lying leftists. Yes. Because God wants the right to come into power, to bring the end. And all of their cases crumbled. It was found out that they were lying. One was paid $300,000. Notice this, huh? Others were promised money. One was told by Washington Post, it has other people against him, come and join it. Money again, lots of money, the root of all evil. So they came and they lied and said, since he was 16 years, he did this, he did that. But here's the shocking thing. It gets exposed to find out that the woman wasn't his real enemy. Do you know who was behind all of that? The leader of the House on the Republican side. An old 60-something-year-old man, the leader of the House on the Republican side, he was the one that was behind everything. So you see, sometimes you have human powers at different levels fighting you, and demonic powers at different levels. And demons that work in the Catholic Church are more deceptive than demons that work with Muslims. Demons that work with Muslims come out openly and do their evil. Demons that work with the Catholic Church has a level of deception to make it think righteousness is there. A Catholic will say, I will take off your head. A Muslim will say he will what? Take off your head. But once the Catholic Church gets in the power, he will still do what? Take off your head. That's right. You understand? So you have different levels of demonic authorities and human authorities. Let's read on what the Bible tells us. We go on again. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, hierarchies, against powers. The actual word here is authority. So we actually have to fight what? Authorities, both what? Demonic and human. Some demons are authorities in handling your mind. Some demons are authorities in handling your body. Some demons are authorities on your history. Some demons are authorities on using people in your environment to get at you. Different authorities you're fighting against. You also have different levels of human authorities. Sometimes police may hate you for the truth sake. But when you go to a higher authority, they will restrain him. So there are different levels of authorities. Right? So you're fighting authorities, both demonic and what? Human. Is that understood? Sometimes you find how these people know this about me. But not like if they know you're wrong. But they know certain areas where you used to live and they know everything. You see, demons know that. And a demon who have that, who is an authority on those things, can bring these things at you with other demons to try and destroy you. So they will come at you. That's why sometimes when your brother or sister correct you, the correction may not be the best thing in the world. They don't make an issue of how they're correcting you. Once you know you're wrong, stop it. Let him say if you don't like the correction, don't tell them you don't like the correction, just do it. And take the correction in secret. Is that understood? Is that understood, my dear brethren? But some people always make the issue how you do it. The moment people make the issue how you correct them, they're not sincere. They're not sincere. Because once you say how you correct them is the problem, it would mean to say, if they're going to walk off a cliff and you curse them and say, get off from there before you die, they'll continue walking. So, we're going to come to all of this in a while, but in an adequate way. Very good. Now let's just look again. It says this. It says this. Against the rulers of the darkness of this world. Did you see? Yes. Rulers of the what? Darkness of this world. All false doctrines and false teachings have evil angels over them. The demons that use watchtowers are not the same demons that use Pentecostals. They are partitioned to do their work. So you have demonic rulers of the darkness, and this is the false doctrine, the false teaching that is in the world. And they are skilled in it. So a Pentecostal pastor that is skilled in darkness will come and speak because demons know that way to use that doctrine more. Sometimes you find this is what happens. They always bring the skill in their false doctrine to fight you. I face a lot of that. At time one of them said, look at you, you claim you know everything. I said, no, we just studying the Bible. They said, let us meet in the square. You will tell us where the races come from, and we will tell you where the races come from. And they want to fight. So I went in Genesis and I made an elaborate chart of all the races and from which sons they came from. And a chart showing which area they went to. And I take my time to explain that to fellows who just like to debate. Now when they like to debate, they're excited in their mind. And an excited mind cannot absorb information to reason with. This is the reason why Mrs. Life says debating is not the best way to spread the truth. People will fight and back and so on, and it may defeat them. That's all. The best. So I went through all of this, and all these fellows can come with is evolution. They come out of Africa and this one went to this here, one set of nonsense. And we had it out. Unfortunately, he died with his cancer, probably still not knowing where he came from. So the point about it, I'm saying, they brought a person who was skilled in darkness and that teaching. Now I remember when I know we became a Christian, in the Adventist church, the first that was brought to me was a group called the Shepherds, run on the David here. They came and they said, brother, you got some black books here that tell you things about the church. As a young person, I was very curious. Think about black books, strange things. What is it? You don't have those books. And my economic level, I could not achieve those books. I couldn't buy those books. And they started to explain. But when I started listening, I recognized that these guys have some kind of streak in them where they're not helping you to deal with sin, but they're just pointing out sin in the church. It's all well and good to show sin in the church, right? But what about dealing with sin yourself? You see, not everybody who point out and say, look, this one doing that and this one doing that can deal with themselves. Huh? And by the way, let me tell you something. When you're qualified to deal with others, you never deal with the church that way. You never deal with the church that way because nobody is going to confide in you to deal with a problem and you're not allowed in the church about other people's faults. So you have to watch yourself. Right? So watch yourself. So coming right out to you now, right? So they bring one that had an authority. The devils bring one that had an authority and the black robes. So we had it out, we fight it out. They came home by me and all 3 o'clock in the morning fighting the shepherd, showing them where they was wrong. I didn't have the books, but when they read it, I recognized the quote in a way to overlook the old quotations. I said, give me that book. And I took the book and explained. And they were just sitting down so they couldn't do anything. So I now started studying righteousness by faith. So those were the black books. Leave me. 4 months later, they came back with righteousness by faith. I'm talking righteousness by faith. So the devil brings them skilled in another type of darkness to get us through. And I told me I now started really dealing with righteousness by faith. But I listened and listened and listened and listened and listened. And remember I was dealing with the same black book people, but at a different level. Because demons with that kind of darkness came. And after fighting, defeating them, I wrote a whole epistle for one of them. And he got so shocked. By 6 months, poor boy choked on his own breath and died. After we had so much discussion, and his name was White, and he choked on his own breath, could you imagine that, and died. After he rejected all the truth way behind his back, we fight about. But the point about when he came with a different level of darkness, a And that's how even angels come. Different levels of darkness to you. This one can't work, they will try this one. That, especially with you women. That's how the devil works. This type of man, this is not your type. But he can destroy you, but this is just not your type. The devil will send your type. The one that you love. And I'm telling you, see, young fellas that like music and sin will get worse to be with. Worse to be with. Trendy young men, the worst to be with. And you find they come. The devil sends somebody much better, better looking, better dressed, more ethical. And you feel you want to possess the individual. Which is a wrong way of thinking about a relationship. Because possession robs one another of rights and freedom. And you think you want to possess the individual. And you do everything to get this person and destroy yourself. So you see, you're fighting demonic rulers of the darkness, different type of darkness in the world. That's what the Bible is telling you. Yes, my girl.
What I want to find out, like, there's something between pleasant Sabbath, everyone. So you said that the demons come skilled in different intrigues and different ways, right? And so what about a person who is not skilled in doctrine? They're not skilled in doctrine, but they're skilled in other ways of breaking it down mentally, you know, trying to break it down mentally.
When the demons bring the man is not skilled in doctrine, many of them don't even know a penny of a doctrine. But they know how to seduce.
Right.
They know how to look with the right eye, they know how to be consistent. They know everything.
And can that work with parents and children?
It depends. Most often, the devil uses parents when the parents overlook what they're supposed to correct. And when the noise of the child makes the parents be less capable of correcting.
Yes.
Right? Right? Let me just get to the third one here. Let me get something. And we are also told against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in what? High places. High places that means heaven. The heaven, not heavenly bodies, but the atmosphere. Which is spiritual wickedness in the atmosphere. What does that mean? In the atmosphere realm, different experiences are being given to a person. Let me show you something. You walk into a club, the atmosphere there is conducive to your destruction. You walk into an area, the atmosphere there is conducive to your destruction. You walk into some people's homes and it is so unsanctified because plenty evil angels working, that atmosphere there is conducive for your destruction. And in all of them, evil angels are in charge. They put spiritual wickedness in that atmosphere. Or you go in a place and the presence of evil to do certain things. And this is the reason why some places you mustn't go. If you know you have a friend and you're going by the friend and that area is always bad and the home is always bad, why go there to lie? You see, you have wickedness in the atmosphere of that place of evil angels. We are told that's what you're fighting against. So you just have to know when to move out. You're going in an area, you pray and ask God, send angels to be with you and you go. You see wickedness in the area, do your work and then do what? Get out. Sometimes it is just a group of people you're alignment with. And sometimes women line with a group of women and men line with a group of men, and the atmosphere they create among you all through the kind of conversations and life they live is destructive to you.
Yes.
And we are told that is what you're fighting against too. That's right. Exactly so. And your Bible thought it was necessary to show you that as Christians you are at war with all of that. That is realistic. That's why if you're in a relationship and it's not working, what are you staying in it for? That's why if you're in a relationship and one of the person doesn't want correction, what are you there for? If the person doesn't want to change, you want to get changed for the wrong? It may seem harsh, but it is salvific for you. Amen. Because in the long run, you have 3 children, you lose all and you lose yourself. Amen. Whereas at least you could have lose 2 and save 1, and yourself. And this is the reason why every one of you owe it to make your home their holy home. Amen. Their home that is nice, where a person could love to be. Amen. When they come here, this is a nice place, they feel relaxed. Yes. They feel the grace of God here. They feel holy angels there. And when they leave with Christ. What do you say? Amen. Yes, my dear. Yes. Is that Prince of the power of the air. Yes. That's evil angels in charge of the atmosphere around us, around all the place. Like in this place here, there is only a holy atmosphere here right now. But sometimes people could bring in an evil atmosphere. Yes. But your holy atmosphere through the angels of God, you need to strong that one out. What do you say? Tell it. What do you say? That's how you have to be. And this is the reason why every man and woman, you have to watch your attitude. Because some people have a depressive attitude. Listen to me carefully. Some people have a depressive attitude. Amen. And they carry it with them right through. And it brings down the tone of the spirit or the atmosphere in the home. Some people have a troublemaking attitude. And it spoils the atmosphere of the home. You must be able to create an atmosphere in the home that is nice. What do you say? But you can only create it through the truth. What do you say? You have to love the truth for that. You have to really love the truth for that, right? And save yourself. Amen, brethren? So your Bible is telling you that's what you're fighting against. All this is what you're fighting against. And the Christians are at war with all of that. We are at war with hierarchies, with authorities, demonic rulers, spiritual wickedness. That's what we are at war with. Is that understood, my dear brethren? Yes. And that's the reason why, and by the way, this is at the level of entities. Because we are not talking about concepts yet. We are not talking about philosophy yet. We are just talking about entities. But then you have philosophies that you are at war with. Amen, brethren? Amen? I'm going to say war propaganda. So now let's just look at what God tells us to show us how we must fight our war. Just quickly. Let's just see. We put in 3 scriptures together. Next shot. We put in 3 scriptures together. Look at Zechariah 10:5 first of all. Zechariah 10:5. Here is what we are told. This is speaking about Christians. The verse you read here is speaking about you in Christ Jesus. Let's read it. Zechariah 10, verse 5. And they shall be as what? Mighty men. Which one? Tread down their enemies in the mire of the streets, in the battle. And they shall what? Fight. Why? Because Yahweh is with them. And the what? The riders of horses shall be what? Confounded. Now in olden days, a foot army always had to contend with riders and horses. It's like today, soldiers have to contend with people in tanks. But in those days, it used to be riders and horses. Riders and horses had a tendency, right? Riders and horses had what we call a better chance in a war with foot soldiers. So God had to say, when you are with him, Yahweh, you can even deal with riders and horses. In other words, people could move fast and they could push the boat. You on foot, but you can deal with it. But here the Bible is telling us you're fighting a war. Now let's compare that scripture with 1 Timothy chapter 6. Chapter 6. And we will read verse 11 and verse 12. But verse 12 is what we want to look at. Now when I read it, I will read according to the Greek text. Here is what we are told. I quote. It says this. But thou, O man of God. Did you see who is being addressed? Who is being addressed? You are being addressed. The man of God. But thou, O man of God, flee these things and follow after what? Righteousness. What else? Godliness. What else? Faith. What else? Love. What else? Patience. What else? Meekness. So you see all these various graces you have to seek for. So you're in a situation, watch me, and you know you're trying your patience. You know this situation is set up. Find ways using faith to have patience. You didn't just hear what I said. Have way using what? Faith to have what? Patience. Read the verse again. It says follow after what? Righteousness. So whatever you're doing in that situation, what you should be looking to follow? Righteousness. What else? Godliness. What else? Faith. What else? Love. And what else? Patience. And what else? Meekness. Usually, if you know you are right, and you know the person is wrong, there's always a tendency sometimes for the person to have pride. And with pride comes arrogance. Because you know you are right. And because you know the person is wrong. But let me tell you something. I have learned this. I have learned this. Every situation you face, always look to register an attitude of meekness. An attitude of humility. Always look to do that. You could be as right as you can be. Just look to have an attitude of what? Humility. It doesn't mean you fight weak. It just simply means to say you still view yourself as nothing and God as what? Everything. So you must have a spirit of humility or meekness registered with you. Is that understood? And that is the reason why when you have that, no boasting will come out of your lips. Every boast says you are God with God. They didn't hear me. Every boast says you are God with God. And you don't want to be saying God's things and then suddenly be on the side of the dragon. Do you? No. So that's why you have to be very careful. So here what it comes and tells us now. Verse 12, the real verse. Fight the good fight of the faith. Did you just hear what I said? Yes. It didn't say fight the good fight of faith. The actual Greek text says fight the good fight of the faith. Which means to say you have to use what? The faith to fight. Did you see that? But the Bible tells you faith without works is what? Dead being alone. So when they're fighting the good fight of the faith, it must be accompanied with what? With works. That's right. Because remember, you're not fighting carnal. It's a battle that you are in that started in heaven. And as you're in a battle that started in heaven and it continues on the earth, you have to use what the angels in heaven use. And they use the faith of the word. Amen? Amen. So we are to fight the good fight of the faith. Lay hold of what? Eternal life. Whereunto thou art called and have professed a what? Good profession before what? Many witnesses. Why does it say lay hold of eternal life? Let me tell you something. Laying hold of eternal life is a mental exercise. Listen to me carefully. Laying hold of eternal life is a mental exercise. Eternal life is an experience of the love of God that doesn't change from what it is no matter what. It remains eternally the way it is. To lay hold of it, it means you must always use your mind to reassure that it is the love of God you are experiencing. So you're in a situation and judge your mind, judge how you're thinking. Are you seeing the love of God? You must always use your mind to reassure yourself that it is the love of God you are experiencing. And when you're using your mind that way, you're actually laying hold of eternal life. You may see me preaching, and when you see me preaching, don't you even think that I am not constantly making sure that I see the love of God. That's what I'm doing also. You may say, but you know this already. It doesn't matter whether I know it already. I must still make sure I am seeing the love of God. I must still make sure that I am having a consciousness of the love of God in what I'm seeing. I must still look to see God's love towards me and towards humanity. That's how you lay hold of eternal life. So your battle takes place with your mind. Let me tell you something. You meet people sometimes, and watch me, they appear to be great Christians. Next thing you see, they're out in the world. I used to see a lot of that long time. I get real shocked with some of the things I see. Ask yourself what happened. You didn't know what was going on. The battle was fought where? In the mind. Your battle is fought where? In your mind. You're not physically holding evil angels and pulling them hand and foot. The battle is fought there in your mind about your decision and where you want to go and what you are thinking. And it is in your mind you lose or you win. But the problem is some of you have this kind of defeatist mentality already. And you must learn to hope against hope. You didn't catch that one. You must learn to what? Hope against hope. It means to say, when you seem not to have any hope at all, still have hope. Amen. You say, well, brother, how could I have hope when I'm facing all those failures? You have hope when you focus your mind on one thing that gives you something. Just one. One thing that gives you something. If you say, well, I study what faith is revealed truth, and at least I know that already, go back on that. You don't want to touch the death of Christ. You don't want to touch the nature of righteousness. At least say, well, okay, faith is revealed truth. Go back and start here. But God always assures you, when you start from here, you're not starting afresh again, you now become a Christian. Because all the ground they covered is still so there in your mind. So you will just, when you go there, that just gives you an incentive to, like a spark to continue. And that's why a Christian never lose the grounds he covered unless he backslide and go into the world. They didn't hear that. No matter what you are, no matter how much times you fall, you never lose the grounds you covered except you leave and go back to the world. And this is why it says that. Mind, character, and personality. So you see, we are told use faith. Use the faith to fight. And faith without works is what? Dead being alone. Faith must be accompanied with what? Good works. And when I say accompanied with good works, the works that the faith show you to do is not understood. That's why a lot of you all here have to stop losing hope that you can make it. You have to stop losing hope. If himself you just take one scripture. Now experience tells us that when a person gets older, some of them, they get set in their ways. And it's not easy to break away. But you see, there is something in the faith called point of glory that is break all ways. There is something in the revealed truth that is called point of glory. It breaks all ways. You could be 98 years old. Once that point of glory hit you from the revealed truth, it changes you. What do you say? If you accept it. So don't lose hope. What do you say, my dear brethren? Don't lose hope. You see, I myself have been assaulted over and over in many different ways. Some things I was guilty for, some things I was not guilty for. And I have been attacked and attacked and attacked and attacked. You can imagine if I had lose hope, I would not have been here. But when you know that God didn't call you to the laws, but to be what? Saved. Keep the hope. What do you say? And then you must know this about yourself. After a while, it becomes easy for you. After a while, it becomes easy for you. But if you need the discipline, now take the hardship. What do you say? Because discipline is the tool that shapes how God wants you to be. And then when you shape how He wants you to be, okay, that goes now. But take the discipline. Sometimes it means you must stay in some wrong for 15 days, for 50 days, for a year. I don't mean in practicing wrong, I mean in a wrong environment or in a wrong situation. But not to worry. Make the best out of it. Learn to rejoice. Amen? Take the truth and rejoice. What do you say? And let the same bad situation or atmosphere become something good. What do you say, my dear brother? Amen? Right, so now let's go to the next chapter. Let's now take off. We now start. We now start. Yes. Straight away. James 2:17. Right? Faith with what works is dead being alone. Right? Okay. We ask ourselves, what is the nature of our fight with Satan and his angels? We need to understand Lucifer's original rebellion. When they told how thou fallen from heaven, what? O Lucifer, son of the morning, how thou cut down to the ground, which did what? Weaken the nation. But thou hast said in thine heart what? I will ascend in the heavens. I will what? Exalt my throne above the angels of God. I will what? I will what? Sit also. Which is a symbol of God's truth. I will sit in God's truth. I will also what? Above the heights of the clouds. Cloud symbolizes the angels again. And then it says it raw. Comes in the raw thing now. The raw thing says what? I will be like the Most High. Okay. Watch this. And I want you to see the equation here. There's no hard thing, it's a simple thing. MH means what? Most High. Amen? Notice what MH means what? Most High. Nothing can be above the Most High, because the Most High is the Most High. But if you said, I will be like the what? Most High, it means you must have another what? Most High. The moment you have another Most High, one is not the Most High. Or two are not the Most High. Most High always means one. So you want to be like the Most High. It means to say you want to be a Most High with the Most High. But in reality you are not. And that's why when Lucifer said, I will be like the Most High, he was saying he wanted to be God what? With God. You must not forget that.
Yes. Like that contradiction, right?
Yeah.
When is that sin after that contradiction? With the fact in a linguistic sense, right? We want to be like the Most High. My is a common creation, normal angels. If it is you want to be like the Most High, it can't mean really he's similar or you can contrast. Like if he is the Most High.
My brother here is dealing with the philosophical intricacies of it. I'm sure it is senseless. But this could be made sensible in a way. Pantheism. Pantheism. If all of this, watch, this Most High, if all is one Most High, it seems sensible. So it would mean to say you don't have two Most High but one. One Most High comprised of these two Most High. Watch this, huh? So what you're saying is that all is what? One, and one is what? All. What is that? Pantheism. Let me quickly quote this before I take your hand of it. Here is Mrs. White, Evangelism, page 601. Hear what she says. The theory that God is an essence pervading all nature is one of Satan's most subtle devices. It misrepresents God and is a dishonor to his greatness and majesty. Pantheistic theories are not sustained by the word of God. Upward look, page 336, Ellen G. White. pantheistic ideas regarding God in nature are framed by Lucifer, the fallen angel. We are being told that's what he used in heaven. Lucifer invented pantheism. And the pantheism he invented was to say that all of creation is God with God. All of creation is God. And that's what he claimed. So it is, we still know it is not sensible. But the angels in heaven that now face this kind of opposition for the first time, it seemed credible to some. And they joined him. This was the nature of the war that took place in heaven. It was a theological war. A war that claimed Lucifer was God with God, creation was God with God. You see, what does that mean to us on earth? Every wrong you do, you say that. Every wrong you and I do, we say that. Every single wrong, you are actually trumpeting or justifying Lucifer's original claim. And that is what sin is all about. That's what you have to understand. In this war that you are fighting, you have to understand that you are actually saying that you are God with God by sin. You may say, well, I know what Lucifer said and I don't believe in that. Of course not. But then your sin is saying that. And this is the reason why the only solution to Lucifer's argument is sinfulness. Amen. Amen. That's why a church must teach you to be sinful. Amen. It's the only answer to Lucifer's argument. Now you say, I am guilty of saying, and we're all guilty of saying creation is God with God. We're all guilty of that. But remember, you are in a war and you have to fight against that concept. Because that's where it started. That's where it began. That is the real issue. And no matter what theological interpretation you have, watch me. Some people want to fight and show what is faith. Fight and show what is righteousness by faith. Fine, all well and good. Fight and show what is imputation. Fight and show what is the judgment. All well and good. Fight and show the papacy and so on. All well and good. But no matter what you fight and show, it must boil down to one thing. One thing it must boil down to, you must touch base with reality. You must get back to the real issue at hand. And I will show you in the Bible in a short while as we get here. You must get back to the real issue at hand. The real issue at hand is justifying Lucifer's claims. We were created on the earth to fight against it. And the real problem here, every wrong says that Lucifer is right in his rebellion. And that's the reason why you have to get back to reality. Bible doctrine is good to show us the path to walk in that we wouldn't sin. But Bible doctrine always head to one final thing. Get back to the argument, the real argument. Why is righteousness by faith and not by works? Because all works is what? Self-dependence. Which is man becoming is what? Own sustainer. Later man is what? Own savior. Therefore man is what? God. Therefore what? Lucifer's artistic claim is justified. That's what's wrong with righteousness by works. Amen?
This is a full gospel church.
Amen? Amen? What is wrong? What is wrong with saying when God now justify you, what? He declare you righteous instead of esteeming you righteous. What is wrong with saying that? Because a declaration always states that something exists before. It exists already, so you just what? Declaring it. Now if you try to declare it in the mind, watch it. I'm declaring the person righteous. Just before you declare them righteous in the mind, you have to esteem them fully. So it still boils down to justification is by estimation in God's mind. So if you're declaring something, it means the person was already right. But if you are saying the person was already right, remember they still have what? Sin. So if they was already right when they had sin, and sin says what? Self-dependence. Then it says what? He's his own sustainer. Then it says what? He's his own savior. And then it says what? And therefore doing what? The only bad thing is they say God agrees. That's what they say. So pantheism, pan meaning all theism God, meaning everything is God. That's what pantheism means. Everything is God. So like a Hindu will tell you, this pen is God. This paper is God. The money that you have in this drawer, hide up there is God. And the thief come and the thief is God. Everything is God. You know, watch me before. Watch me. I come to tell you, right? Watch me. You know why I don't listen to Sat Maharaj and Mahasabha? You know why I don't listen to Sat Maharaj and the Hindus? Because every time they go and say, the government are doing nothing for the people, but that is God. According to your teaching, what? Everything is God. Look, flood in your house, the water is God, it's God in your house. You understand? The teaching is so foolish, they can't even live it. They can't even live it. That's why I don't listen to them. You understand? That's why I don't listen to them. They mean literally, this commentary to you. They mean literally every single thing you see, hear, smell, they call it fire, water, earth, wind, right, and spirit. They say all that is a manifestation of God. That's what they say. All that is a manifestation of God. So behind all of that is God pervading everything. They say all the molecules are made up of God parts.
Why do they create little idols and have them as their God?
Because God made them shape a form to worship God. I'm not giving you any logic for them now.
I was just considering in my mind knowing of certain Hindus opinions, and they would have these little statues and like little image of certain little idols, and they would worship it, and that would be their God, right?
Yes.
So how they would take everything is God when they have a statue?
That's right, because everything is God. They say every stone is God. That's the reason why. That's the reason why every time they take a pumpkin, watch, and they take a knife, watch how they just cut the pumpkin. They just always apply a stab to it, and then cut. That is a ritual of human sacrifice. You understand? That's a ritual of people. Let me not go into that. But just the point is, they have plenty, right? Okay? Next time they buy a coconut, watch out, eh? Watch out, eh? Right? Okay? Yes, brother.
I would like to add a scripture to lead to where Yahweh from God is the Most High. It's one of my favorite scriptures. It is in Hebrews chapter 6 and verse 13.
Yes, brother, go ahead and read Hebrews 6:13.
For when God made promise to Abraham, because he could swear by no greater, he swore by himself. So we see that God alone is the highest, but God Most High.
Amen. He swear by no greater, he swore by himself. So he's the greatest. That's the reason why Yahweh Gadol is like what you call the heart of our faith. You hear long live the Reformation, they say Yahweh Gadol. They say Yahweh is the what? He is the what? Most High. That's what you actually say. Right? Okay, brother. Now watch this afterwards. Yes,
brother, that really there's something else by that time. Okay? To lose everybody. The problem with that is that it don't make sense by the case of God. Why? Because you are Most High, and then after now that you start to hyperbole or exaggerate about yourself, right? Bring himself in the picture and start to exaggerate. You're not saying less, but you're saying more about yourself, right? But not true. So now it is now, the more about yourself is our next Mosai. Then after you know that is not true, and then after you reach it on like a parasite, to suck up on the next Mosai. Or when the next Mosai, who's the real Mosai, start to explain himself, that is at the beginning when he started to do it, when he started to develop the primitive carnal mind, God showed him, no, that is wrong. Parasite job, not a Mosai. And he paused. What are you doing?
Amen. And brother is answering it philosophically. Turn to Isaiah now again 43. So many years ago in 16th Isaiah 43, and we're going to look at 7 and 10 to 12. Many years ago, an old wise man in India went in the sea and saw plenty Hindus there taking water with their hands and throwing it up so. And as he saw them doing that, he watched. And then he turned his back on them, take water and throw it so that he could throw it up to the land. So the other Hindus and them turned and said, but look, the sun is there. Why are you throwing water so? He said, well, I'm throwing it to Calcutta. They started to laugh at him. And they started to tell him, why do you expect that water to reach from here to Calcutta so far away? He said, those fools, if my water can't reach Calcutta, which is much closer, how could yours reach the sun who is God? Literally, that happened in India. Literally, India. That's that. You see? So, that's just by you. So now watch this now. Let's see why man was created. Let's see why man was created. We're putting these scriptures together. Your Bible tells you why you were created. So when God made this earth, He made a fighter, and listen, somebody to fight. Somebody with intellectual power of choice, that can do things angels themselves can't do. Because an angel can't make a child and train the child in the way the child should move. So God gave human beings powers that angels don't have. He made man a terrible fighter that he could fight the argument with faith. And gave man powers to do it. Okay? Let's see scripture that shows us what exactly you were created for. Let's look at these body of scriptures here again. Isaiah 43. We put together verse 7 and then verse 10 to 12. Ready for it? Verse 7. Even everyone that is called by what? My name. In other words, everyone that is called a Yahwehite. A Yahwehite. Or a Christian. Right? Remember? Peter says that we are called by a new name. That new name would be Yahshua or Jesus. Therefore we will be Messianists or Christians. Jesus the Messiah. Alright? So this is saying everyone that is called by his name. So if you say Christian or Yahwehite, say it again. Watch this. Observe. Even everyone that is called by my name. For I have what? Created him. For what? My glory. I have what? Formed him. Yea, I have what? Made him. Did you see that? When you say for your glory, what do you mean? When you say you created him for your glory, what do you mean? Verse 10 to 12 explains it more. Let's look and see. Ye are my witnesses, saith Yahweh, and my servant whom I have what? Chosen, that you may know and believe me. So he wants you to know him and he wants you to believe. Amen? Amen. and understand that I am He. Before me there was no God what? Formed. Neither shall there be what? After me. Even I am what? Yahweh. And beside me there is what? No Savior. I have declared and have saved and have showed when there was no strange God among you. Therefore, witnesses says Yahweh that what? I am God. And that's what we were created to show. That you have no created gods, no formed gods. There's only one God. And his name is what? Yahweh. That God is a man of war. Amen. And he has called you to fight on his behalf, to be his witnesses. Yes. To testify that you in your life know there's only one God. So you don't have plenty. Amen? Amen. That's what you have to show. You must remember, a Christian is an anti-pantheist. Amen. Amen. And a Christian is a monotheist. One God. Amen? Amen. Because every single sin you fight, you are actually saying that God is one. Amen. But the shocking thing is, God created man and put man on the earth and drive out Lucifer and then put him on the earth, and God says, there's someone there on that earth that will deal with the devil. Fight to destroy the works of the devil. And man come and fall. He came with the same temptation that he came to angels in heaven. But he just come with a different bait for the same temptation. You shall be as God, knowing good and evil. So they had the idea, was given to Eve and then Adam, that there's some kind of mystery knowledge that you must know that makes it become God. So then they begin to get curious. And they actually thought that they would become God, knowing good and evil, but the trigger must be eating fruit. Now don't you think that they will just say eating the fruit is suddenly change them to God. They know they must, listen to me, the fruit stood for obedience or disobedience. They knew that the trigger of disobedience was going against what God says, eating the fruit. That's why Eve says, God says, don't even touch it lest you die. So she put it in a way to show that is something God forbid to do. So the idea was, the angel, which is Satan, in the form of a serpent, was telling her, you see this fruit? If you could only take this fruit, go against what God said, you shall become as God, knowing good and evil. The trigger must be taking the fruit. Once you take the fruit, which is going against what he says, you will see what you are. So in other words, you don't need God, you just have to depend on what? Yourself. Which must make yourself become your own what? Sustainer. Which makes yourself become your own what? Therefore making you what? God. And that's what they justify Lucifer's anti-theistic claim of being God with God. You think Lucifer didn't know that? That's what he was seeking to achieve, and he achieved it. So man did fall. Amen? Man joined Lucifer's side in the war against the holiness and the oneness of God. The facts are that every sin is self-dependent. Did you hear me? Yes. Every sin is what? Self-dependent. This is a man claiming that he is his own sustainer, his own savior. Thus he is what? God with God. Did you see that? All you have to do is to ask yourself, if you sin, how is it that you're on the devil's side? 1 John chapter 3 and verse 8. You see, John put it in this open way. But when you look at the philosophy behind the scenes, you understand how it is so. Here is how John put it. 1 John chapter 3 and verse 8. He that committed sin is what? Of the devil. For what? The devil sinned from the beginning. For this purpose the Son of Man was what? Manifested that he might what? Destroy the works of the devil. So Jesus came to do what we failed to do. But we were supposed to do that. We were supposed to destroy the works of the devil. But we failed to do it. So here the Son of Man, Son of humanity, representative of man, and new Adam had to come and do what man was supposed to do in the beginning. Destroy the what? Works of the devil. But notice if we commit sin, we are of the devil because the devil sinned from what? The beginning. In other words, it is his claims we are following. It is his claims we are following. This is the reason why the Bible has a psalm that is completely against following the devil. When I saw the sisters sang it this morning, I was shocked. I said, I have this psalm written down here in my study to give, and the sisters still up on the psalm. I was saying, how is this possible? But you see, this is how God will turn the psalm on us. Watch what it is telling us. Now look and see what the psalm is telling us. Now look and see what it is telling us. Watch this. It is completely, watch me. That psalm, watch me. That psalm was written to attack this chart here. You see this chart here? That psalm was written to attack the claims of Lucifer here. To attack this pattern.
Yes.
Watch me again. Watch me again. You imagine I have this psalm written down here. And the sister says she wants to sing it and she started to sing that. And if you check that psalm, literally goes against what is claimed here by Lucifer.
Yes.
All you have to do is look at this psalm and see. Let's look at it now and see. Let's read it. Make a joyful noise unto Yahweh, all ye lands. Then what does it tell us? Serve the Lord with come before his presence with sing. Why are you told to serve the Lord with gladness? Because whatever they're getting from him is nice, it's good. They come before his throne singing because it's a wonderful thing. That what he's facing there is a wonderful thing. But here comes the point. It goes on. Know ye, right? Notice this is the reason why you're coming singing and rejoicing and so on. It says what? Know ye that Yahweh, he is God. It is he that what? Yes. And what? He are what? His people. And what else? That means to say you cannot have what? You cannot be your own what? You cannot be your own what? You cannot be what? Therefore Lucifer is a liar. Did you see it? And I am looking at the sister and say, oh my God, I'm just telling you sister there who sit along I don't let me say Psalm 100. I'm sure I'll say, look at here. Amen. And the sister is singing that, but that's not all. Here is what the Psalm tell you again. Read on again. Enter into his gates. Whose gates you have to go into? Not your own, because you can't help yourself. Amen. So what does it say? What? Enter into what? His gates with what? Thanksgiving. And into what? His courts with what? And why? Be thankful unto him and bless his name. Because you cannot do it on your own. Amen. Amen. Did you see that? That clearly shows you that God is God what? Alone. But the scripture tells you he is God. That's what I can tell you already. But let's go on. For Yahweh is good. His mercy is what? Everlasting. And his truth what? Enduring to what? So in your generation now, you can get the same benefits. Amen? That's why this was written. That was written to show that psalm literally anti this pattern here. Anti this pattern. So you want help? Turn to God for it. What do you say? Amen. Anybody who feels they have abilities and I can do it for myself, pardon me, you need to give up that pattern. You need this psalm. Amen, brethren? Amen. Amen? Amen. Next shot. Yeah. So earlier, this study was really one of the introductions to Revelation 13. Actually, I'm now getting into the study. But we'll stop it all. Sure. You see, as we reach the last days, Revelation 12:17, find it. The war that started in heaven will end on earth. Yes. And the Bible tells us the last portion of that war. The last portion of that war. The last episode of that war. It's like you come to the last chapter of that war. I think Mrs. White called it that. Notice Mrs. White's greatest book. The great controversy between what? That's a war she's talking about. Right? And also the final conflict. That's a chapter in her book. It's a war. You are in war. And that's the reason why you cannot let down your what? Your? You mustn't let down your vigilance. You must be constantly conscious. Don't let down your vigilance. You are at war. So as we come to the last chapter of the war, here's what the Bible tells us. Read again, watch. And the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the what? Remnant of her seed. With whom? The remnant of her seed. Which keep you what? The commandments of the Lord. And have what? You know, I could show you something now, but don't let me jump too far ahead. Literally, when you keep the commandments of God, you must have the testimony of Jesus Christ. But when you have the testimony of Jesus Christ, there's something you will do. The angel had to tell John. The angel had to tell John. So, in the last days, Lucifer's war takes on the enforcement of the mark of the beast. What does it take on the enforcement of? The mark of the beast. Right? It also takes on the image of the beast, and it also takes on the beast. But watch the pattern of Lucifer. Watch. The image of the beast, for the sake of the mark of the beast, for the sake of the beast. It must point to the beast. That's why the subject of Bible prophecy is the beast. So the purpose of the image of the beast is to get what? The mark of the beast, to get what? The beast. Because when they get to the beast, then when they get to Lucifer. Are you understanding me? That's the pattern you will see in Revelation 13. Remember in Revelation 13, the last part we have to go through. So this is like a kind of introduction to it. Watch this. Revelation chapter 13, 15 to 17. Watch this. From 15. And he had power to give life unto the what? The image of the beast. Did you see that? Yes. Did you see that? Yes. And he had power to give life unto the what? Image of the beast. That the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be what? Killed. So the image of the beast says, worship me, the image of the beast. Why? Let's read on. And he caused it all. That's what the image of the beast is doing. Both small and great, rich and poor, bond and free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their what? Forehead. Did you see that? Yes. So the image of the beast says, worship me. How? Receive the mark of the beast. But when you receive the mark of the beast, it is the beast you worship. So the image of the beast is meant to make us receive the what? Mark of the beast, that we will worship who? The beast. Because when you worship the beast, there is someone you're worshiping with him. Are you listening to me, my dear brother? Yes, my dear. Are you listening to me? Amen. Watch this. And it says here, verse 17, and that no man that buy or sell say we have the mark of the beast, or the name of the beast, or the what? Number of his name. Notice that? When you get mark of the beast, you're supposed to have the name of the beast. The name of the beast is all the bishops and archbishops and so on from the Catholic Church. And the number of the name is the actual number of the beast himself. Vicarious filiae, a substitute Christ. So the aim of giving people the what? Image of the beast is that the image of the beast will give the what? Mark of the beast to make people receive what? The beast. That's why the Bible says all miracles that are done in the sight of the beast. It is done for the favor of the beast. It is done to help the beast. Are you listening to me, my dear brethren? Watch me. So much. This is something. Next chapter. So much this is something. Do you know what is going to happen? You and I live in 2017. Watch this, huh? You and I live in 2017. Could you imagine we are coming closer and closer to the end? We have all kind of communications today. Alright? In fact, some of you got our latest books from Amazon on your phone. And by the way, our brethren in Pakistan and asked for copies of those books. So those books are going to be translated into Urdu, which is their language. So I will have to give Brother Aaron a copy so that those 3 books will be translated in Urdu to spread in that sector of the world. Amen? You see, God is taking the work into his hands. And things are going on. You must remember, the words you are preaching here now, the truth you are preaching here now, that is the truth that will end the world. So stop trifling what you have. You must recognize you have a precious treasure. And this treasure is so important for any world. Are you listening to me, my dear brethren? I hope I'm not talking to people hard to finally wake up. Amen? Now watch this. Watch this. Evil angels. Remember, we are fighting against evil angels, right? We are fighting against hierarchies and powers and so on. They're in charge of the atmosphere around us. They have all kind of authorities. Do you know what the Bible tells you? Those same evil angels that you're fighting against will work miracles to make sure the mark of the beast comes to the forefront. They will make sure the mark of the beast comes to the forefront because they know it means to worship the beast, because they know it means to worship the dragon Lucifer, because they know it means to claim what he is claiming, that he is God with God. They will actually do miracles. That is what your Bible is telling you. So the most important thing is what the Bible tells you, that evil angels themselves who you're wrestling against is going to use miracles to bring this whole thing to the forefront. Let's just look at what your Bible says, Revelation 13. Read from 12 now to 15. Let's read from 12 to 15. Have you found it? Here's what it tells us. Quote, and he exercises, that is America, all the power of the first beast before him, that beast is the papacy, and causing the earth and them that dwell therein to worship what? The first beast who's what? Deadly womb was healed. So the object is to worship the what? The beast. That's the real object. But why? Now notice the beast is a pastor of a church. You didn't hear what I just said? The pastor of a top church in Rome. Just one man that is the pastor elected to that office by vote. They're even more democratic than China. One man elected to office, a man as the head of a church. But you see, the difference with this one man is that he has an office he's carrying, a seat that he's carrying that means something to the devil. Because the devil gave him his own seat. That is why this pastor is of value. You could probably take this one that we talked about in the Reformation study. The pastor that we talked about in America. Copeland. But nobody studies, he's nothing. I mean, again, he's satanic, but he doesn't carry his Lucifer seat like the Pope. So he's nothing. But here is a pastor, the head of a church that your whole Bible prophecy is based upon. And that is closing times Bible prophecy. And the Bible is telling you that America will make people worship the beast. That same pastor. Let's read on. Verse 13. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by means of those miracles he had power to do where? Where? In the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make what? An image to the beast which had the what? Whom by a sword and what? So the whole miracles is upon people to make an image to the beast, to honor the beast. And the miracles are done in the sight of the beast for his honor. So what you have to understand is that the same wicked powers you are against, that you're fighting against, they're going to make a move. And the move they are making is to do miracles to bring that beast to the forefront. That you will worship him. That's what they want to do. You will say, well, we are no better all people see that. Somebody here say, too much pedophiles, they leave the church. But let me tell you this, that's not enough. Remember, the battle is a battle that you must fight by faith. The revealed truths of the plan of what? Salvation. As Luther called it, the word of truth. You have to, it is a battle of truth. And that's why when the Bible tells you to put on the armor, 3/4 of the example of armor is the faith of Jesus Christ. Which I'll show you in a short time. 3/4 of the example is the faith of Jesus Christ. When they tell you to put on your armor, it's like the same thing you wear in different ways. Whether it's the foot with the gospel, the sword of the word of God, or the shield of faith, whatever it is. It's the same thing. We'll show you in a short time. Watch this. It goes on. Verse 15. And he had power to give life to the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as will not worship the image of the beast should be what? Killed. Now watch it, Revelation 16, 13 and 14. 16, 13 and 14. Watch it again. Verse 13. And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast. There's the beast again. And out of the mouth of the false prophet. For they are spirits of whom? Devils. Doing what? Working miracles. Which go forth unto the what? Kings of the earth and of the what? To gather them to the battle of the great day of what? God Almighty. You see, that is a shocking thing. The spiritual battle that is taking place is going to escalate a global, worldwide battle. Where God is going to have to physically fight them. Did you see that?
Yes.
He will have to physically fight them in honor of us. Because they want to kill us. And he's going to drop some plagues on them. What do you say? That's why it's needed, Joel. That's what it's leading to. That's why you have to understand the importance of what we are talking about here. You can be from what religion you can be now this year. You need to get this thing straight. I am here trying to impress your mind with what I have seen from the Bible. I'm trying to help you to see it. You could appreciate it as I appreciate it. Because you need to understand that is what you are facing in a war. You can get married if you want to get married now, but just remember you're still in that war in your married state. You understand what I'm telling you? You're still in that war. You can do whatever you want to do. You cannot escape the war. You think you can be a little child and not be protected by mommy and daddy. But your mind as a child, and let me say this to children, your mind as a child is protected by your choice as a child. Yes. Your mind as a child is protected by your choice as a child. See, that's why some children, they give the parents real trouble, no matter what you tell them. And do you notice this? Every child that gives real trouble, they always show you something. They have their choice and they can do what they want. That's behind it. And that's the reason why a child is made by their choice when they're young. If you know how to tangle with a child's choice, when they're misbehaving, to switch a choice, you get wise. That is what wisdom is all about in dealing with the children. Know how to tangle with their choice making. Know how to tangle with it. That's what you have to do. And if you can't, you've lost it. Because as much as you do, it is their choice. What do you say? Your choice may be the strength of your choice may be is your house, is your resources. Use that to tangle with them. Amen. Use that to tangle with them. You see, in your house, you have to use your house and your resources to tangle with them. Because if it is your parents, if your parents is a problem, you have to face it as differently. Because if it's a child, you're dealing with a child that exercises choice without wisdom. If it is a parent, you're dealing with somebody settled in their ways, and the child younger in their ways. There's a different way to handle that. Totally different way. But if from young, you learn to give an intelligent reasoning to the parent, you know, a child fighting a sinful parent must always draw a line on the ground. Yes, understand? Take a chalk and draw a line on the ground. Norman God, I beseech you, if you know you are right, cross that, and when you come on this side, right and show why you're right. After you give them a good argument. I bet you they can't cross that line. You know, many years ago, some guy wanted to fight with me. After all the stretch, one stretch, I said, okay, that is enough stretch. I come out to face it. And I said, so here am I. What did you want to do? But he didn't know I was on my knees praying before. He come and he draw a line and tell me cross that. I said, I thought you wanted to do something. I thought you wanted to do something, you're drawing line and telling me to cross here. If you wanted to do something, look, you have the opportunity, here I am. Only time it was only talk. Now you come and you just draw a line and tell me cross that. I said, that is what children play. You understand? And you need to grow. You okay? Alright, don't ask me how it is. You always make, what do you think? Amen? So watch this now. 19, Revelation 19 and 20. Now this 19 and 20 is a kind of summary of the whole thing. A summary of the whole thing together, but watch out with the phrase. Watch this. There's a summary of the Revelation 19, 19 and 20. And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to what? Make war against what? Him that on the horse. And against what? His army. Of course. Well, they unite together to fight us, eh? Amen? But here is what the Bible says. Now, what the Bible says in the next verse identifies what they did to fight against us. Let's read. And the beast was taken. So you know one thing for sure. He can have Lucifer's seat as much as he wants, he's going to be taken. Yes. Or capture them. Or destroy them. And the beast was taken. And with him what? The false prophet. Now here comes. That wrought miracles were before him. So the real object of all the miracles is what? The beast. That wrought miracles were before him. Did you see that? With which he what? Deceived them that had what? Received what? The mark of the beast and had what? And then that what? Worship his image. That's right. Did you see that? Did you see that? Mark of the beast. They take the beast and the false prophet. You understand? That's why the mark of the beast that they can worship his image. So what you have to understand is, listen to my pattern again. Why do people worship the image of the beast? Why will it be so? It is to receive what? The mark of the beast. When you receive the mark of the beast, what does it make you do? Worship the beast. And when you worship the beast, who are you worshiping? Lucifer. Which is saying that what? Lucifer is God in God. And so you will get the whole world to claim this. That's why you see these black halos in different parts of the Brazil, South America, China, many places in America, in Europe. Black halos as even they just claiming, they claim the world. They claim the world. That's why you're seeing all these things. But the real aim is to worship the beast, because when you're worshiping the beast, what are you doing? Look at Revelation 13 again. 2 to 4. 2 to 4. Revelation 13, 2 to 4. We read, I quote, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard. Description is being given here. And his feet as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And watch this. And the dragon gave him his what? His power. And what else? His seed. And what else? And great authority. Now 3. And I saw one of his heads as it was wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world wondered after who? Beast. This is beast, that is the issue. A pastor over a church. And all the world wondered after the what? Beast. And they worship him. The dragon that gave power unto what? The beast. And they worship the beast. Say, who is like unto him? And who is able to make what? War with him. Well, you're asking a question about war. Because you know Yahweh is a man of war, and they're fighting us, and now they say, who is able to make war with this beast? That is the reason why you have the mark of the beast. Some people think the mark of the beast is the real issue. The mark of the beast is a means to an end. The mark of the beast is a means to an end. When you receive the mark of the beast, you worship what? The beast. Therefore worship what? The dragon that gave the power to the beast. And that's the real thing. The real thing is to exalt Lucifer as God what? Because what's wrong with Sunday? It's just an ordinary day. If you go to church meeting on the day, there's no evil in just going to church meeting on the day. But if you have a certain regard for the day, since that regard came from what? The beast. Which he got from who? The dragon. then your regard for that day makes you honor the dragon. Because what do they do on a Sunday? They go to the church building, they eat white bread and drink wine. And then you go home and you do what you want. What was that? That's anything? That's nothing. But it is so grievous because every time a man says, I give you this day in place of the seventh day Sabbath, he is saying he's gone with God. And if you honor that day, you're saying he is gone with God. But why is it wrong for you to say he's gone with God? Because you're saying that Lucifer, which gave him that law, is what? God with God. And you don't want to serve the devil, do you? No. That's the real thing. So I'm trying to impress your mind with this pattern. Every one of you here, you're not too old or don't think you're too dunce to understand. Or don't think you now come here, you can't understand sense. Even though you come here for the first time, you can understand what we are saying here. The real issue in all of this thing is claiming that Lucifer is what? God with God. And that is what you were created to fight against. That's why you were put on the earth here. You were created to fight against that. But in the last days, the devil used miracles and find a means to get you to say he's God with God. And that's what this whole thing about mark of the beast and paper thing is all about. So you see, worshiping the image of the beast is to receive the mark of the beast, to worship the beast, which will make you worship the dragon, Lucifer, which is to claim that he is what? God with God. That's the real thing, my dear brother. Do you get that clear?
Yes.
Do you get that clear?
Amen.
This is the reason why you need to remember that. Next shot. Then you have one more chart and then you stop. Next shot. Watch this. I wouldn't go into much of this, I just refer to it. I'll just refer. This thing becomes so terrible. Listen to me. You know, sometimes you see a little red mark on your skin. Just give it a little scratch. And if you just a little red mark, it will go away. Then you notice it get bigger. Then it get bigger. And it means so much that you know you have to lose your eye. And then it threatens your life. You see, this thing is going to get so big that people are going to die by the millions for it. Yes, ma'am.
How do we know that Saturday is the day? Because in the creation he said that on the seventh day he rested, right?
Yeah.
He never said what day.
Right.
How do we know?
Right. We must know which day is called Saturn's Day.
Yes.
Alright, so I'm going to show you the planet way. Ancients worship 7 planets. So let's deal with the days of the ancient times. So I know if it is the same today. The ancients worship 7 planets. Alright? Sometimes they had this one. Sometimes they didn't have that one. Sometimes they just had this one. Alright, so I just put this one here. Just in case they had or they didn't have. Right? But it is 7 days of worship. Used to be the sun. Sunday. Right? Mercury. Venus. Earth. Now don't forget only sun that had the moon. Like in Arabian. But let me give it power. Let's forget everybody. Okay? Right? So we have the sun, Mercury, Venus, the Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. Saturn, the 7 planets. Right. So in ancient times, the day we call Saturday today is the same 17. Because Saturn was the 7th planet for them. And they worship that 7 times. That's why even the ancient Muslims used to run around the Kaaba 7 times. Today they still go around it 7 times. Because they used to worship the planets. When they reach Venus, he used to stop and grab women. I wouldn't say the rest. Ask him, religion. Ask him. Alright? Okay? So now let's look at this here now. Our brother I just want to get many other ways, yeah?
I saw someone in Benin put up a post. Someone on you here put up a post showing that actual practice is real. With Muslim women with the hijab and so on. And boy, the gyration and the...
Yes, go on.
Sick.
Now watch this here now. This thing gets so serious. You have the final scenes in the celestial war. Are you listening to me now? Pay attention to this. Because like you're looking at the book of Revelation and this study, or when you're dealing with Revelation 13 basically, it gets so serious that the Bible tells us, Revelation 16, you read it just now. Let's read Revelation 16 at least, just this alone. This part of it. Revelation 16, 13 to 15. We read. And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the what? False prophet. Did you see that? For they are spirit of what? Devils, doing what? Working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the what? Whole world, to gather them to the battle of the what? Great day of God Almighty. The battle of the what? Great day of God Almighty. And then when this battle is coming, God says what? Behold, I come as a feast. Blessed is he that what? Watch it. And the what? Keeping his garment. Let's see what? Walk naked. And they see what? The shade. Notice this, the final scene of the celestial battle deals with what? The day of the Lord or Yahweh, which is called the what? Year of the plagues. Did you see that? Which is called the year of the plagues. Let me tell you something. That year of the plagues battle is a year of 7 plagues. So there's a 7 plagues battle to take place. The Bible literally calls the plagues falling war with people and the earth. God fights them. The war with the beast and his image. Remember Revelation 16 tells you, all of this is God gave them blood to drink because they shed their blood? Yes. So that is literally a war. You see how serious it will be? But in the scenes of the war, the closing scenes of the war, the final name that is given to Jesus shows you what the war was all about. You want to find that name? Look at Revelation 19. Our time is passing, so I'll just give you one or two verses. 19, Revelation 19. Right? You will read from, alright, let me read the whole thing. From 11 to 16. Let's read. And I saw heaven open, and behold a white horse. And him that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. And in righteousness he doth judge and may. It's the war fighting. But the first name we are told he's called is what? Faithful and True. That's the first name. But that is not the final name he has in this war. Let's read on. And his eyes were a flame of fire. So you know who is being spoken of. According to Revelation chapter 1. His eyes was a flame of what? Fire. And on his head were many crowns. And he had a name written, and no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed with a vesture, notice he had a name written there, dipped in blood. And his name is called what? The Word of God. Remember the first chapter saw, right? The Word of God is one fighting. So look, it gives you a name, but that's still not the final name. So you call him Faithful, you call him True. Then they say you have a name written, you call him the Word of God as his name. Let's go on still. Read on. Verse 15. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, and he shall. So Sorry, I missed out verse 14. I missed it out. Sorry, let me read verse 14. And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, with which he should smite the nations. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. And he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness of the wrath of what? Almighty God. So look, he's called Almighty God already. But that's still not the name. We read on. And he had on his vesture and on his thigh a name written. King of Kings and Lord of Lords. King of Kings. That is the name. In this war, it is to prove who is king above all earthly kings. Who is going to pass laws for the beast. They are passing laws for the beast who is a king in his own right. But this one is called King of what? Kings. Now since he's called the Word of God, you know it's Jesus. What do you say? Amen. So Jesus is the what? Supreme King with authority over what? All earthly kings. That's right. Amen. But he's also called what? Lord of Lords. Deuteronomy tells us the term Lord of Lords means God of gods. Did you see that? Amen. But it doesn't mean the others are really gods. It means Jesus is the only one, true God, and all the others are what? Idols. That's how the epistle of John ends. All the rest are idols. This is the only true God, Jesus Christ, and all the rest are idols. That's what Lord of Lords means. So in the war, you must remember that you are actually acknowledging that Jesus is God what? With God. Did I say that? That Jesus is God with what? Then what are you saying? But okay, you must acknowledge that Jesus is God with the devil. But then what do you acknowledge? That Jesus is God alone. The what? True God. The what? Eternal God. Remember how John called it? He said, this is the what? True God and what? Eternal God. Wake up. One more thing again, to quickly here. One more thing again, here quickly. Let's just go. Let's go. Next shot. Let me give you the final shot. Stand for the finish. It's a work of art. What do you think? Yeah. That's what I call these shots. Works of art. A work of art. You will be shocked. 7. Watch me. Truth, faith, Word of God, gospel, all of these things. Yes. One is psychological and one is what you do. Did you see that? Amen. Because the helmet of salvation is psychological. Yes, you must have in mind the consciousness that you are a saved person being delivered by God. You must hold that in your mind. Because the moment you say, I'm not a child of God, I'm not being saved, but you serve God. No. But you must have it in your mind all the time that you are a child of God being saved. Let's just read this here quickly and we'll stop here. Ephesians 6, 14 to 18. Ephesians 6, 14 to 18. Watch this. Let's read 13 as the background. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand when? Let me just wait until you find it, and you will say it as you need it. Wherefore take unto you the what? Whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand when? Which is what is coming now. And having done what? All to stand. Having done all means you prepare to stand. This is something for the future. This is talking about the evil day to come. Now, of course, each person has had their individual evil day. The time when it is worse for you, when everything seems down and out. Okay? But this is there's a general evil day that you must do all to stand in it. Amen? Right? And it tells you the weapons you have to fight with. Let's read. And then you just quickly look at that and then finish. Read. Stand therefore having your loins girt about with the truth. Did you see that? The loins of the truth? It's a wrong here. The loins girt about with the truth. It means when you go, the truth guards your loins. So all your feelings, your passion, you understand? Is guarded with the truth. And the truth sometimes is the iron girdle that you wear. So your loins girt about with the truth with the iron girdle.
Amen.
Alright? So the truth is dealing with all your passion. What do you say?
Amen.
So you have problems with your passion, the truth must surround it. Whenever passion is surrounded with the truth, a person has a tendency to surrender. You didn't hear that one yet. That one, they didn't take about that one yet. When your passion is surrounded with the truth, you have a tendency to surrender. But if you leave way for the passion, when it breaks out, it's taking over. So talking about your Lord is built about with the truth. We're looking at the word truth here. But wait, let's read. And having on the breastplate of righteousness. So this is something that you're wearing in the breastplate of righteousness. The biggest part of you that a person sees first is your chest. Yeah. It's a chest. So as you come, you see a chest in front of you. And what you're supposed to be seeing is the divine nature in you. So you have the breastplate of what? Righteousness, which is the divine nature of a person seeing in you. So the truth tie your passions to God and they see the divine nature in you. That's not all. Let's go on. And your feet shod about, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. See with the gospel of peace. Everywhere you go, there is some gospel intention in it. Now, it's not denying going to the shop or wherever, or going to the toilet or whatever. But it would mean apart from this normal routine, wherever you go, there must be some gospel intention in it. That's why you cannot go into one of those gambling halls. You're not going to preach the gospel there, of course. Amen? Or you cannot be going into the whole house to preach the gospel. So when you're going, wherever your feet is going, what is directing you? The gospel. So can you imagine a person walking to go and meet somebody to do a wrong thing? Oops, where are your feet going? Not with the gospel of peace, amen? So you need the gospel of what? Peace. You must be a gospel to give what? Peace. Or to give what? Justification. Did you get that? It must be a gospel to do what? Give what? Justification. This is what you're being told. Wherever you go. Then that's not all. Let's read on again. And above all, taking the shield of the faith. That's the Greek text. Give me the Greek text. Taking the shield of the faith. Again, all kind of darts of evil angels coming to deception. Faith unravels it. Faith destroys it. It is faith that is used to block it off. The revealed truth of the plan of salvation matches it. The deceptions come in. That's why when a deception comes to you, you need to unravel it until it doesn't mean much to you anymore. So when the temptation comes to you, it don't mean much to you because you destroy it. You see, it's nothing. Some person may be fascinated, but to you it's nothing because the faith as the shield, mash it up, block it. That's right. Because the just shall live by faith. It goes on. Wherewith you shall be able to quench the fiery dart of the wicked, and take a helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the what? The word of God. So the helmet of salvation is psychological. Yes, my dear.
What is wrong with sin?
I didn't hear you.
What is wrong with sin?
What is wrong with doing the cinema? There are a number of things that is wrong with going to cinema. The first major thing is not just what you're going to see, but the atmosphere you're in. When you're there with plenty of people there, and you're not going for the Lord's purpose, just to watch a movie, usually that time you're not interpreting the film. Because you're in one of those atmospheres of the evil angels, where a lot of them are. And that's a place like a Pentecostal church where it is bombarded with all kind of false teaching. And as the false teachings come through the movie, it will affect you very bad. Because remember, you went out there for entertainment in that big house where evil angels are, and as you went for entertainment and the movie is going on, you're being reached with errors and principles there. Now if you can get the movie and you have it home, and you watch it at a certain time, there's a difference. But if you take that movie now, and you go to a place where all these sinful people are, and you're part and parcel of it, and you're watching it, you're in trouble. You're putting yourself in danger. And remember, you're still not under the protection of God, because God didn't send you there to preach to anybody. You went there for something to preach to you. Alright, so there are many ways in which you can see it. But let me get back to this one. Watch. The helmet of salvation, that one is psychological. Everybody here, once you accept Jesus Christ and you mean it, you must have a consciousness in your mind, I am a person being saved. Amen. I am a child of God being saved. You must have it in your mind, I am in the world, living in the world. But I'm a child of God being what? Saved. You must have that consciousness, like the helmet of salvation. That always make sure it guards you from acting outside of your character. Because as far as you're concerned, I'm a child of God being saved. That's the helmet of salvation. And then the sword of the Spirit, the word of God. It means take the word of God to cut all the wrong. Cut with the word of God. Or let me put it another way. Let the word of God do the cutting. Yes. Amen? In fighting with the truth. And then it tells us this. Let's read on. Praying always, verse 18. Praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all the saints. Right, so the final one is supplicatory prayer. Now, supplicatory prayer is of a character where it's not like if you say, well, every morning I pray, every evening I pray, or every lunchtime I pray. Supplicatory prayer is the prayer you offer all in between with every little thing that you do. Like for instance, you say, Lord, I have to make a good deal here, you know? Oh Lord, you know, getting some problem with this, help me. You know, the little thing you pray. In other words, supplicatory prayer is more like continual prayer. Where you're supplicating God, is that understood? And that is also what? So look at how much you do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Watch how much is truth or faith. 1, 2, 3, 4. Of the 7, 4 is faith. 4 is the word of God. 1 is psychological, which is the 5th one. Right? Helmet of salvation. 1 is psychological. Did you see it here? Helmet of salvation. Did you see that? And you know what? 1 is the divine nature. Not because it is least, but because they have one. One God. And finally, 1 is what you do. Amen, brethren? Supplicatory prayer. And we are being told these are the weapons we use in the war that we are fighting. Our time is far past. Let me just tell you this. Let me just quickly say this to you. Listen to me quickly, my dear brother. If I ask you, what did you learn from all that was said here? If I ask you, what did you learn? What did all my talking here benefit you? Did I waste my time saying what I'm saying? Did I waste my time to your particular mind? What did you benefit from all what was said? If it's one thing you benefit, you are in a war. You are in a war. You are fighting evil angels that have control over the powers of this earth. They control the darkness of this world. And they're going to use miracles to get you to say that Lucifer is born with war. That's what they're going to do. You must recognize that every sin says that. And you must fight back. What do you say? Amen. Fight back by keeping the sinfulness that God gave to you. Amen. Is that understood? Amen. And as you fight, you use this to fight. Use these things to fight. And you will get through. Amen. Amen, brethren? Amen. So you need to be taught these facts. And come January, we're going to have the new baptism class. For those of you who want to get baptized, Simon. We're going to have to talk to you personally about this class. Who is the body coming to say what's up? But I can promise you, we will use systematic church, we will use the book. My advice to you, brethren, is every one of you should get a copy of the 3 books. Do some sacrifice and get a copy of the 3 books. People are way up buying it already. It's being sold already. I'm supposed to have royalties to get in the US. But I put it so small, I reckon a few US cents, it's still something of a, what do you say? If you should spread, what do you say? But the point about it is, you must get a copy. Now, getting a copy, quickly, you will have to do it through Amazon. There's a time that Lord bought a book from away, I think through Amazon, right? The one about the Illuminati. You're going to have to practice the same practice to buy. That's the best we can do. Use the same pattern. Get together, put your monies together, and purchase copies, and you will get it. Because you're going to use this to go around and teach people all in this country. What do you say? Amen. Amen. In fact, somebody from one of those states away in America sent me a message. They were reached by the truth. And they had to be advised, where you are, you have to start something on your own. Because where you are, we don't have a church there. But get copies of the books, what do you say? Amen. And use that and what? Study it with people. Let me tell you something. The truth is going forward. What do you say? Amen. And we thank God for that. Amen. There are things I wish I could say to you all. Sometimes you have to wait until the mind reaches the right state. But I'm telling you, you're going to see some surprises. You are going to see some surprises. We are now out in the open market where critics and foes and friends alike will meet with regard to these topics in the book and discuss it. One person already said, oh no, we are teaching pantheistic monism. They are attacking all the rest people, but this one said an enemy. So now we are out to fight. What do you say? And we are meant to fight. What do you say? That's why Tuesday started. Tuesday started fighting. Fighting with the truth. Fighting with the gospel. And if we go out as martyrs, we go out what? Fighting. But we will triumph. What do you say? So this is your religion. This is the one kind you would like. As I get to know it. This is what I will bless you. Amen, brethren. So let us start.
Brethren, just as encouragement and hope is seen in Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 19. The last verse in Jeremiah chapter 1, and it says, and even though we know that we are fighting against Lucifer, his angels, unconverted men, this is the hope that we have. And they shall fight against thee, but they shall not prevail against thee. For I am with thee, saith Yahweh, to deliver thee. So we all have hope. When we keep the faith, we keep the breastplate of righteousness, which is very Yahweh, with us, and he will fight for us, and we shall be delivered by God.
Amen. Amen. So brethren, let us bow our heads and let us pray. Precious loving Father, thank you for all that you have shown us. Thanking you very much for showing us that we are in a war and that we need to fight the fight of faith, that the concept we are fighting against, which we were created to fight against, is the claim that we are gods with God. We were created to show that you are God alone. Please help us not to be deceived by one pastor of one church, used by demons that work miracles to make us claim Lucifer is God with God. But let us fight against all of this with the faith of Jesus Christ, fighting the good fight of the faith to overthrow these heresies and to glorify your name. Thank you again for hearing us and blessing us through Christ our Savior. Amen. Amen.